What's going on?
All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Main Event Stats Sports Show. I am your host, Brian H. Waters. Of course, I am with NFL expert. He covers the Titans, even though he's a San Francisco 49ers fan. When you're talking about the NFL draft, I had to call on the man, the myth, the legend, the expert, the one and only Mike Patton. Mike, what's up, bro?
Man, you too kind, man. Nothing much going on tonight except
Hold
for
on, I think the people can hear your
kind of
TV
surprised by some
louder.
of these picks.
I think people
My
can.
bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
I'm sitting over here. There we go. Is that better?
yeah, there we go. Yeah,
All
so
right. Yeah, I had the
interest
TV on blast. Watch yourself. So
yeah, interesting night. The first three picks, we saw Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. That was Zach Wilson, right? And shoot, what's the guy
Trey
named Trey?
Lance.
Yeah, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
You're a 49ers fan. How do you feel about that pick? Now, I'll always say I catch up with the draft through people like you and the experts, the college football experts, right? And then, I always, keep an eye on like my team. But I got a 49ers fan. Y'all had the top three pick. Jimmy Garoppolo got y'all to the Super Bowl. 10-point lead. Didn't win it. Most people said right there that changed the direction in which the franchise was going. How do you feel?
Honestly, I like the pick. You
Mm-hmm.
know, everyone was talking about Mac Jones, Mac Jones, Mac Jones, Mac Jones.
Who?
And I was like, please don't let them draft Mac Jones. Because, although Mac Jones may be a good guy, maybe steering the ship, I don't believe he is a great quarterback or a potential game changing quarterback. I think Lance has the ability with his feet and his arm to be a potential game changing quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I liked Lance better than Mac Jones. To be honest, I thought Mac Jones was a right-handed Matt Leinart.
Woo! That was one of my favorite college quarterbacks about 2 decades. Wow. It's almost really been 2 decades. Dang, that just aged me. But
We getting old, man.
we are, you go back to those USC teams, but you wasn't a fan of Mac Jones. A lot of people, are you surprised he went to New England? And here's another thing.
Nope.
Will he start? Will Bill Belichick be able to get the years out of him the way he did with Tom Brady?
Well, he's not going to start this year, but I think
Okay.
he's going to take some time, sit on the bench. Only way he starts is if Cam gets hurt. Other than
Mm-hmm.
that, he's not going to start. He's going to sit on the bench, learn the offense, and eventually jump in there because Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick. I don't see Cam staying there past this 1 year unless he has
Okay.
a great year. So I think it'll be time for Mac Jones next year, and they'll build a system around him, which will be the running game, like he had at Alabama. But they're gonna have to put some more weapons in the wide receiver crew. I will say this: they put more weapons in the wide receiver crew this year, but they can't have a team like they had with Cam and the last few teams with Tom Brady at the wide receiver position with Mac Jones as he's growing. You have to put
Right.
weapons around him as he's growing. Then once he gets it, then maybe you can kind of minus a few weapons and have him kind of, maneuver a few things around.
Got you. So just want to encourage everybody real quick. If you are watching on Facebook, and you want to hop in this conversation, I encourage you download the Haps TV app. And we're gonna have, we ain't gonna be here as they in the church house. We ain't gonna be before you very long. We just gonna come on here and talk football as it is late. But the NFL draft just concluded, and I was sitting here to be honest with you. I was like, man, I ain't done the main event stats sports show in a while. And my brother Mike Patton said, look, I'll get on with you. And I said, guess what? This is better because I ain't gotta sit up here and have a conversation with myself. And I know that he gonna bring it and bring forth that great intelligence. Hence the reason why I'm a huge fan of his and his show. Not and most importantly, the person. The Ravens, my Baltimore Ravens, man, they got their wide receiver. Tell me what do you know about Rashad Bateman? And should I be excited? Because a lot of people was calling for the other guy from LSU. But the Ravens went this direction. Yep.
I would say this about Bateman. The one thing that's funny about Bateman is, and I actually picked this up from a podcast I listened to called the Dropped Balls podcast with Chris. I can't why this escapes me his last name for a minute. Sorry, but sorry about that, Chris. My fault. But anyway, he said that basically Rashad Bateman was listed at 6'2" his entire time in college, but when measurements came out, he was 6 foot, 6 foot and 3/8. So how does that happen your entire college career that you're listed at 6'2" and then you're 6 foot and 3/8? But anyway, I thought that was interesting. But I mean, the guy can play. The guy can play. He can run routes. He's a technician in his routes, and he also, he definitely can make some things happen. He's not necessarily an explosive guy, take the top off of defense or anything like that, but he makes things happen. He lines up, he can line up and play pretty much maneuver at any different spot you need, but he's more of a guy that can line up outside and win there. And that's a guy that the Ravens need. They need a guy that can line up outside and can hold his own and can make things happen and not have to, manufacture a way to get him open. So that's definitely something that will help them. It's just I don't know. I just find it funny that he was listed at 6'2" in college and that he was barely over 6 foot tall. That's what I thought was quite interesting to me. But I definitely think he plays bigger than definitely his 6 foot height.
In the words of my good sister Ashley Nicole Baker, let me just say this. This is the first time in a long time, if ever, within franchise history that I can remember the Baltimore Ravens having 2 first-round draft picks within 5 years at the wide receiver position on the same team. That's what makes me excited about this. We have been seeing a lot of investment from the draft at the wide receiver, at the offense position. It was almost 5 years ago, maybe it was. I'm bad with years right now. It's midnight. We got Lamar Jackson. We get Hollywood Brown 2 years ago, and now getting Rashad Bateman. Welcome to Baltimore. I'm excited. You know what I mean? I want to see what's going to happen with him. What up, LA Brodus in the house? I want to see what's going to happen as we, move forward, because I think they really trying to say, you know what? We're going to really rev up this offense. They understanding the defense look like it's going to take care of stuff. We'll get to that in a second. But they understand they got to change the way offense. I know you are not the biggest fan of Greg Roman. I know you haven't forgiven him for not coming through with the Super Bowl. But I feel better knowing that there's a huge upgrade at the wide receiver coaching position. Having Sammy Watkins, that with him being called out, and maybe this is me being super optimistic, with him being called out by the legendary future Hall of Famer Steve Smith Sr., I feel like he's going to make a move and do better. How do you feel? And you, because you were speaking from
Roman things. I feel Greg Roman is going to do Greg Roman things. Eventually, they're going to get frustrated with him, and he's going to get fired, and then your offense will be so much better.
Okay, and I think so. I think that's what Baltimore at this point, when you see what's happening, you're looking at it like, okay, either he's going to work out and change, or he's going to get fired. Bottom line, I don't think
go get fired.
So you have no hope at all.
Nope. He's basically like a ship with a hole in it that's trying to stay fit, but you can't stay fit but so long. That ship is eventually gonna sink.
Yeah. So now, real quick, the Ravens, they get a defensive edge rusher. 6'5", Shout out to my boy Nick Bedford for bringing this to my attention. He's 6'5", runs a 4.3, and he's under Wink Martindale. I know some people are like, but then some people saying, watch out, he's gonna be a game changer. What do you know about this guy?
I just know that he didn't have any sacks,
No
in
sacks.
college.
Right.
So I mean, but I will say this though, Booger McFarland. Yes, I'm bringing up Booger McFarland. He did make a good point. Daniel Hunter, they got drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. He only had 1.5 sacks when he got drafted, but he had the measurables, and you saw what kind of terror he became. Getting after the quarterback. So
right.
I would say the guy at Penn State, he could definitely be that type of player, especially in a Wink Martindale system. Yes, definitely he could be that type of guy and make some things happen. And I don't know if you want to address this comment because I know Ashley has definitely addressed this comment from L.A. Brodus on here.
Oh, what is? Oh, I was sitting there trying to. You know how it is when you're producing and directing and being talent. Will the offense fit wide receivers though? That's the question. I think so. I think that it's going to change because it's been too much of this, right? You ain't gonna go out there. And one thing about Harbaugh, he don't like being challenged, right? When Dez Bryant, who I'm gonna go ahead and say, and everybody knows I'm a huge Dez Bryant fan, probably my favorite modern Cowboy. He was the last of my favorite Cowboys as I left being a diehard fan. But I didn't really appreciate him going out there, the things that he was saying about the organization, especially when 31 other teams wouldn't even give him a shot. He came here twice before he got signed, but nobody else gave him a shot. But at the same time, right, I didn't appreciate that. And I think what they're going to look at is like, okay, you got Dez saying that ain't a place for wide receivers. You got all these other people saying that ain't a place for wide receivers. Here comes Sammy Watkins. He comes in and says, wide receivers need to get open. Already challenged them. They need some veteran leadership. And we thinking, Sammy Watkins, like, he won the Super Bowl. He has some sort of credibility, regardless of what. Even though he wasn't the number one guy. So I do think there will be a shift. Now, they got to get the line back in order, but I think there'll be a shift. The one thing is, as a Ravens fan, you want Lamar Jackson to have weapons, and I think we get that. Shout out to my guy, Pop. He brought up a good point. Move Boykin to tight end because he can, get physical. Move him to tight end, and then you'll have Bateman and Hollywood and Watkins. Ravens also got to run some draw plays. We didn't see any draw plays ran last year. So it's going to be interesting to see what. Go ahead.
I understand the want to move somebody to tight end, but no, leave Boykin at wide receiver.
Okay.
Because you know why you leave him at wide receiver? Because there's a certain guy named Sammy Watkins, and his hamstrings always give up on him. So you're going to need him at wide receiver.
Right. Well, see, and we still got Duvernay, and we're going to see what happens, though, right? We're going to see if Watkins can stay healthy. It's a low risk, high reward. He was one of my favorite players. I remember I was working at the Four Letter the night he got drafted, and I remember EJ Manuel getting super excited when they drafted him.
Right. And, he proceeded to have a good campaign out the blocks, and then, the injuries and the numbers started declining, and then he started bouncing around the teams.
Yeah.
It just, I just don't buy into.
Oh, you sound muffled. You sound muffled. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Hold on 1 second. Let me take off the headset. The headset.
All right, there goes Anthony coming in.
Can you hear me?
Is that better?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Anthony on.
All right.
Anthony, what's good?
Not much, man.
Appreciate you coming on. I know you Ravens fan. How do you feel? Mike is the analyst today. He's the one who's, looking at it from a broad perspective. But I'm putting my fan hat on. I'm trying to get used to these picks. I'm trying to get used to we got new members of the Ravens flock, right? So
Yes, we did.
And LA Brodus says the Browns are building something. We ain't worried about the Browns. Yeah, they did a great job last year in the playoffs, but that division only belongs to 2 teams, and it's going to be that way. But how do you feel about the Ravens draft picks?
I am overly ecstatic. You know, Rashad Bateman was a guy that Ravens Twitter has been going off about for like months now.
Okay.
You know, Terrace Marshall Jr. would have also been a really good pickup.
See, that's the guy I kept hearing about.
Yeah, you know, big body,
Mhm.
go get the ball, 50-50 guy, receiver. That's something that I would like to see the Ravens have done as well. But either or, I was happy. You know, I've seen a lot of productivity out of Bateman. And the Penn State linebacker, I'm not really too sure of. So, you know, I saw, like, first when I saw linebacker, I was like, okay. No. We have Queen.
Well, I thought Judon.
Malik
you know, we
Harris.
don't have Judon no more.
Yeah. I didn't know he was an outside linebacker until I saw like the highlight film. I said, all right, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, you know, I thought that they were originally going to, you know, draft a tackle, but I guess that almost confirms that Villanueva will be a Raven, which is weird, you know.
Yeah,
coming from that team, but, you know, coming over to the good side.
You're right.
Well, I told y'all that was going to happen literally as soon as Orlando Brown Jr. got traded. I was like, yeah, Villanueva is about to be a starting offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Pittsburgh can't afford to sign him.
Is he good? Do you got anything left? Because you know, Steelers fans, of course, you know, it's normal for people to crap on the person that's leaving, as Anthony was going off about Orlando Brown Jr. on Twitter. You know, and I like Little Zeus, and the reason why I like Little Zeus, because the man, you know, he grew up here because his dad was here. You know, he told one of the local newscasters, "I watched you growing up," but hey, if you don't want to play at that certain position, go make your money elsewhere. I get it. It's a business. The business part sucks. But
exactly.
You seem to be upset with him. You called him a crybaby.
Upset? I'm not upset. You know, it's at the end of the day, like you said, it's a business. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got to make money. Everybody got to feed their family. But I'm just saying, bro, like, your pro day was garbage. And I mean, I'm gonna be straight with you. Like, we've all saw it. We saw the pro day was garbage. Now his productivity at Oklahoma was, you know, pretty good. And yeah, he did play left tackle at Oklahoma, but no one wanted him at left tackle. Ravens gave him a shot at right tackle, and he became a star. And then, you know, Stanley gets hurt, goes out for the rest of the season. They move, you know, Orlando over to left tackle. He has a pretty solid season. Saw the contract and also, you know, his dad being a tackle is like the money is at the left tackle position. Got it, you know. Also, we got it. I think I froze.
Oh, I can hear you. You good? Shout out to Peter jumping in. Appreciate you, Peter. We happy to be here tonight. Shout out to Brian from Texas. Glad y'all happy. He was waiting to see what impact Houston drafts. Bracing for the impact for when Houston drafts.
Oh Lord, Houston.
Brian, I had a prayer for them on my last show. Me and my guest had a prayer for them on my last show. So you know, pray they find some kind of joy in the decisions they make, and that Cully don't lose his mind as a head coach.
Yeah, but I want to talk about real quick. Trevor Lawrence is going to Jacksonville. All right, this is what I will say this, and I get we're in the new age media, but allow me to have a get off my lawn moment. The hype for that first round pick is no longer there because it's like we always know, you know, with the exception of maybe a couple of years, but it's like we always know who's going to be drafted first. I want that old thing back where we don't know. We can't wait to see. Are they going to pick? Yeah, I understand it could be between 3 people, but I want to know if it could be between at least 3 people who could make a difference, you know, as opposed to the kind of knowing we all knew Trevor Lawrence. Now, the question for y'all is, how long does Jacksonville get back to the playoffs? How long does it take for them to get back to the playoffs?
You got summed up. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. But
Oh, Mike's a Tennessee guy too, so of course he's not going to say anytime soon.
no, well, but I'll say this. When it comes to Jacksonville Jaguars, I would say I'd give them maybe 2 years to be in the running
Okay.
for the playoffs. I'll be generous to be honest. I don't know if I like the ETN pick with their second first round pick. I don't know if I like that pick because you already had a 1,000-yard running back there.
Mhm.
You already brought in Carlos Hyde. So basically, are you telling your running back who was an undrafted rookie from last season that hey, thanks but no thanks. You can compete for your job again this year, even though you had an outstanding rookie year and nobody believed in you. It just didn't make any sense to me for them to draft ETN when they already had Hyde they just brought in and they had a 1,000-yard running back. So I don't know, but they could have done other things better than the first two with the second pick. But I'll give them 2 years and they'll be talking about it. Well, but also another thing, they won't be going anywhere if they don't get a pass catching tight end. Both of their
Yeah.
tight ends are blockers right now, and basically he has no safety net outside of ETN that he knows.
Yeah. I want to bring this up. Brian is talking about something that happened earlier, right before the draft. I say he tried to steal the shine of the draft, and that's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. He's tired of it, and Brian says Houston will roll out the red carpet for Aaron Rodgers. They were saying on TV earlier that unless you have Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady, what was one person saying that you should be at least making a phone call. A couple other people saying there's a few other quarterbacks. My question is, as great as Aaron Rodgers is, he probably had 1 or 2 years left. Is there a team that he would go make an immediate impact? Now, let's also not forget Aaron Rodgers has only been to the Super Bowl one time and has only won it once, right? It's not like Brady, who literally went to a team that was at the bottom and brought him back to the Super Bowl just like that. And it wasn't easy. He just was lucky to have the clout and the pieces around him. I mean, the clout to be able to say, "Hey, Gronk, come play with me. Hey, AB, I'm gonna talk to the front office. Come play with me." Right? Aaron Rodgers, does he have that type of clout where he can go somewhere and win this? Do what Brady did, turn the franchise around that quick. Is he still that good?
Oh, he's still that good.
Okay.
He's definitely
Yeah, I
still.
agree with Mike, but I mean, you just got to figure out what place, like where would he fit in best. And also you got to think about it. Like Brady also had weapons when he was in Tampa Bay, and he leaves New England with hardly no weapons, goes down to Tampa Bay with like all the weapons, and Tampa Bay was just missing a really good quarterback, and they got one of the all-time greats. So that's what pushed them over the top.
And he brought in 2 more weapons.
Right.
Yeah.
Got his guys in there.
Antonio Brown, yeah.
So
like I could see Rodgers going to Atlanta and making a difference, right? Because they got
but that
Julio.
wouldn't make sense though, because you already have Matt Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I'm just throwing
Super Bowl.
Right, I'm just throwing a team out there. Okay. Is there a team out there that's Aaron Rodgers ready made to win a Super Bowl that's besides San Francisco, obviously.
I would say offensively today we heard that team.
Yeah.
And honestly, defensively, I'm not sure they're ready, but offensively, they've got a lot of young talent, and that's the Denver Broncos.
Right.
Ooh.
Earlier, you got Jared Jeudy on one side, you got another young wide receiver on another side.
Cortland Sutton's there.
Then you got a running back. I mean, you have a very young, talented tight end. Offensive line's not bad. I mean, the offense is ready to take off. They just need an actual quarterback to actually help them take off. They could put up numbers if they had a quarterback. But Drew Lock just ain't it.
Yeah, well, Brian from Texas says he's going to have a better year. Now, shout out to Brian Ain't Lying. Brian Langford says Miami or Tennessee, as far as the Aaron Rodgers. And he says Tennessee got a young team and pretty much boom. And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh shoot, he's right. I would hate to see that. Honestly, how you think this town would react?
I think people would love it, but I think people are already in love with having Tannehill here. Because I mean, honestly, if you look at Tannehill's numbers last year, his numbers weren't bad. His numbers
No,
were
not at
really
all.
good. So I don't think that's something you mess with right there. I
Right.
think that's more with the defense as opposed to the offense.
No, keep your
But
defense the same. Leave that the same.
oh Lord, no. You got some receivers down here to have a mutiny. So I would say their defense would be great. You know, we work on their defense more. Their offense, just leave it the way it is and continue to build around it. Now, I was disappointed in the Titans pick tonight, but
Yeah, I was going to go ahead, go talk about it. Let's see. They picked Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech
yeah,
with the 22nd pick.
he have back surgery and knee issues. I mean, he's an all ACC player. He can play, but you know, do you take the chances on him with somebody that has back issues? Because you know, when you have back surgery, I don't care what anybody tells you, you're never the same.
You know, I've heard my mother say that just in like she said my grandfather said that just about life. Like
Right.
the back surgery has never been corrected. So I can imagine with a brutally contact sport like football.
Right. I just don't. I think there were other picks there. Like they were talking. I was listening to a little bit of Titans radio, and Cleveland got Newsome at defensive back, and that was a guy that they targeted as well.
Okay.
So you know, and I'm seeing LA in the comments saying that he would take Rodgers over Tannehill any day, and I get that. But the thing is, that's not the position that needs to be upgraded with the Titans right now. It's not necessarily like he's playing like terrible. So you know, it just but just I don't understand that pick. But you know, hopefully he proves a lot of people wrong and he comes out and does his thing. But the Titans still need a slot wide receiver. Adam Humphries wasn't it. Jonnu Smith at tight end is gone. They brought back some of the tight ends from last year, and honestly, they replaced Corey Davis with Josh Reynolds from the Los Angeles, which could be good, but they still need a slot wide receiver. They don't have one right now.
Yeah. Now another pickup, another draft pick that stood out to me. Patrick Surtain II going to Denver. I remember his dad watching him play. I put in our
beast.
Yeah, I put in our group chat. You know, he was one of them beasts on NFL 2K5. And I specifically remember because one of Berman's lines was Patrick, he sure is Surtain. You know, that's when we need NFL 2K back. That's a whole different show. Best football game ever. Even there's been 20 Madden since then. But with him going to Denver, obviously they know they needed to keep up with Kansas City. Does he make them, how do you see him facing Patrick Mahomes 2 times a year?
I mean, honestly, looking at that team, they have 3 defensive backs that can keep up that they can put out there and rotate. So I honestly like the pickup. Just either he's going to be the third corner or he's going to be a replacement for somebody starting next year.
Okay.
So that I like the pickup, and it fills the need and the hole for them because you need as many corners as you can get to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And that was a good pickup, and you get a guy that comes with a lot of ability, a lot of I would say confidence when he comes out there and plays, a quiet confidence because he's being regarded as a very, very humble guy.
Yeah.
So I would say that was definitely a solid pickup for them. Definitely gives them something they need because they drafted heavy offensively last year. They need to draft defensively and add to that side this year.
Yeah. All right, real quick, 2 more picks I want to go over before we get out of here. Chicago Bears looking for that franchise quarterback. Probably out of all the historic teams, have had the worst luck. And when I say historic teams, I'm thinking the Pittsburgh Steelers, now the New England Patriots, the Dallas Cowboys, the San Francisco 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, the Oakland Raiders, or Las Vegas Raiders. You know, these historical franchises. You got the Chicago Bears. But when you think about Chicago Bears, you only think about one quarterback, that's Jim McMahon, because they've missed on so many. Is Justin Fields the guy, Mike?
I will say this, they better hope he's the guy. I think he is the most talented guy they have drafted. I
Okay.
mean, you can look at the guys. You have Mitchell Trubisky. You have let's see, Cade McNown. I know people don't remember that name, but yeah, Cade McNown from UCLA was at one point considered the guy. Then you
Mm-hmm.
had Kyle Orton. You had let's see, who else we
Rex
got?
Grossman.
Yeah, Rex Grossman. Yeah, you've got plenty of people that thought he was that they were the guy, and they just weren't it. I think that he definitely brings the ability and he brings the mentality to that team, and I think he can be Todd Collins. Goodness gracious! But I will say this also: if he starts, do you know the Bears will have almost 20 million in salary cap sitting on their bench and backup quarterbacks?
Ooh.
Almost 20 million with Andy Dalton and Nick Foles.
Wow. LA Broder says Jay Cutler was the best. That's a lot of money. I don't even know. I mean, I guess I get why they picked Andy Dalton, but if you knew you was gonna go get a quarterback, should you left him where he was?
Hey, maybe they got him on that. Maybe this is the Andy Dalton stimulus package that we just didn't know about.
Hey, there you go. Well, I'm rooting for him. I would like to see him do well. Ohio State quarterbacks, though, I don't know. They don't tend to do that great, just like Alabama. And then last but not least, speaking of Alabama, it wasn't Jalen Waddle, but it was Devontae Smith. It's Devontae, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Devontae Smith going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, it's funny because I was on the phone with Ashley during this time, and she got irritated that the Cowboys traded back with the Eagles, division rival, for them to get Devontae Smith, who she's looking at, he's going to be a threat. Now, him and Jalen Hurts, I don't think they was on the same team. Maybe they was. Do you know?
They were.
They were okay. Yeah, because Hurts was a rookie last year, right? And then 1 year in Oklahoma, the other year he was in Bama. All right. They back together. Is this the duo that Philadelphia has been looking for since Donovan and T.O.?
Wow, I don't think I can put their duo on that type of level.
All right, let's just say Donovan and Pinkston.
No. I wasn't gonna say Donovan and Pinkston. I was gonna say Donovan and Deshaun Jackson.
Oh,
Because he reminds me a lot of Deshaun Jackson with the speed and his size, except for he's a little bit taller than, of course, Deshaun Jackson was, but his frame reminds me of him. So and he can also take the top off defenses as well. So I think they could have that type of magic, and I definitely think the Dallas Cowboys will definitely feel the burn on that one.
I don't know what they was thinking. I understand a business decision, but I don't come on, you had to have known they was gonna go get him.
Yeah, they had to, but then again, it is what it is, and Jerry will be thinking about, man, I can't believe I just did that. He'll be probably be thinking that maybe by mid next year if he does all the things that he can do a wide receiver. But the thing also I'm hoping that he does learn how to get down. Don't take hits. Do like Deshaun Jackson did. when the hit's coming, go ahead, get as much as you can, get out of bounds
Yeah.
because his frame is not very big, and if he takes a lot of hits, eventually it's going to break him down, and that's not good.
Yeah. I tell you, man, I don't hate the Eagles. They was always a team I kind of enjoy watching, to be honest with you. At one point, that those Donovan T.O. years, I was, I had an Eagles hat. Um, but this is going to be fun to watch to see what they do. You Alabama having so many first round picks. I want to see how they all pan out. I don't know if I'm ready to say, oh yeah, this is going to be such a this is going to show how great they are. But it's Alabama. They are the world champions. So we'll see going from there. Who you think got the best deal to draft tonight?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Najee Harris
Oh
for
yeah, yeah.
for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that was I didn't like that one at all. Obviously, as a Ravens
Three down
fan.
He's a 3 down running back. He can catch, he can run, he can block, and he's very intelligent. And this year, one thing that he worked on that nobody really talks about, he ran the ball with more physicality. So that makes
That's
him
what he
even
gonna need.
tougher. So I would
He gonna
say
need
that
that.
I would say definitely that was the most solid pick. That was the
Mhm.
most fitting pick, I would say. And like I see LA saying bugging Steelers have so many issues. I know the Steelers have issues,
I love
but
it.
on offense, a running game can cure a lot of different things. So think
So
about that.
where's the Steelers' next quarterback? Because it seemed like they not drafting one. Well, they're not drafting the next franchise one, I should say, unless they get a steal. But do they get somebody? Do they try to go get a Deshaun Watson if everything clears with him?
I'm not for sure they do because cap wise it wouldn't work for them.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
I would say that hmm, I would say it's definitely not Mason Rudolph. I would say
Mhm.
not I don't think they think it's Josh Dobbs. And I'm not sure it's Mr. Haskins either. A lot of people forget he signed with them
Yeah, I
at the
remember.
so I'm not sure where they're going for another quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if they drafted a quarterback, but Mason Rudolph definitely isn't the guy. We
But
we
you know
we
what
all
though? One thing about Haskins though, he's up there with Mike Tomlin. They got that DMV connection thing going. So maybe, just maybe, Mike Tomlin sees something in this kid that maybe he gets this wake up call and feels like, all right, I woke you up. You have an opportunity for this to be your franchise if you can get out of your own way. Now, personally, watching Haskins, I don't think he's the greatest. And Trey White in here, thanks for coming in. That's your cousin. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Watching him being on the field in watching working the Washington football team games, I felt like a lot of stuff he was too slow to make these decisions. Now, let me keep it fair and say, was he thrown in there too soon? Maybe, maybe not. But he also had opportunities when Alex Smith got hurt. What was it? Kyle Allen got hurt. It's like, all right, now here's your chance. But when Terry McLaurin was going, like that could have been a great connection. But now I think having everything taken away from him, now he'll have an opportunity to say, okay, I almost lost this. I don't want to disappoint my black coach. Let me get myself together. What do you think?
we'll see what happens with him. He definitely got another chance. Hopefully, he takes advantage of this next chance. I also wanted to address this comment by LA said the Steelers want to throw. One thing that LA that you may have missed is that the Steelers talked about being more physical this upcoming season. Notice that the offensive coordinator is not the offensive coordinator there anymore, and they want to get back to the running game is what was talked about. So that's why
Mhm.
Najee Harris fits what they want to do because they want to get back to the running game more as opposed to having Big Ben back there throwing the ball 50 million times, which we saw that didn't work.
Yeah.
It just Yeah, I just as far as that team and Dwayne Haskins, I hope Dwayne Haskins gets it figured out, gets it going. We've seen plenty of quarterback come to Pittsburgh after being discarded in their careers, especially black quarterbacks,
Mhm.
and resurrect their careers. You know, a Byron Leftwich, a Charlie Batch as well.
Yeah.
So definitely, I will say that he's in a place where he can revive his career.
Charlie
That he,
Batch ended the Ravens. I think they had a 15-game home winning streak one time, and Charlie Batch ended that the Super Bowl year.
man, Charlie Batch. And I'll say this. I hated the way things ended for him in Detroit, but I'm glad
Hmm.
that he was able to come to a very quality franchise in the Pittsburgh Steelers, and able to win Super Bowls and maintain his career.
Yeah. So real quick before we get out of here, I got to read this from Pete Gilbert, WBAL. Pete says Ravens took Jalen Ferguson, aka Sack Daddy, in 2019. He has 2 sacks in his NFL career so far. Tonight, Jason Owe with 0 sacks last season. Hashtag reverse psychology. So that is interesting to say the least. I would say, we got Anthony back.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I think something's going on with my Wi-Fi.
It's all good. We about to get out
It's
of
still breaking up.
here. Yeah, but before we get out of here, what was your favorite part of the draft? Who won the draft tonight, in your opinion?
Part of the draft was now it has to be I think it's Jalen Waddle
Mm-hmm.
who out the ground without it's been going around. It's absolutely hilarious. He just gets up and walks out right out the green room, doesn't hug any of his family members. I thought that was hilarious. But as far as like my favorite pick,
Mm-hmm.
oh man. It's tough. I think I like Micah Parsons going to Dallas. That just seemed like a really solid fit, and it just seems like a smart move by Dallas. Very responsible of.
Yeah, it's timely picking up on Sean Lee retiring.
I like Micah Parsons going to Dallas.
Cool. All right, folks, we about to get out of here. Oh, no, I'm saying nah. But yeah, we about to get out of here. Appreciate Anthony and Mike joining me tonight on Haps. I know it's been a while. I promise you, I'll be doing more of these. I'll be getting the Main Event Status Sports Show back in the swing of things. A lot going on this end. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. I appreciate y'all. Great conversation on the NFL draft tonight. Just other sports news. My Orioles beat the Yankees, so that's something to be happy about. Getting it done in the 10th inning. Cedric Mullins with the sacrifice fly to win the game. Trey Mancini 3 for 4 today with a home run. Orioles and Yankees are both tied at 11 and 14. New York Post put out that the Yankees lost to the lowly Orioles, and how about if the lowly, we split 2 games apiece. Orioles not expected to do much. Yankees have high expectations, not looking good. That's always a good thing here in Baltimore. Mike, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at MikePatton82. Also, you can find me at TennesseeTribune.com and also the VoiceNashville.com as well. Also, throw some more sports stuff out for you. Kevin Porter Jr., who got traded to the Houston Rockets for a second-round pick from the Cleveland Cavs, 50 points tonight in a Houston Rockets win.
Youngest player to do that, right?
I didn't check that part of it, but I know
I saw that. Yeah, it might have been. I think I saw that come up. That he might have been these players. But shout out to them.
And LA doesn't like that. Of course, he's in the land, or he's in Akron. I'm sorry.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
LA. but it was a good job for him by him tonight, man. Maybe he's finally getting his head on straight and getting it together.
Yeah, we'll be bringing it obviously come playoff time. But if I put you on the spot right now, what's your conference finals pick for both divisions? I mean, both conferences.
Let's see. The Eastern Conference probably be a little bit easier to pick. Well, I'm probably gonna pick with my what I want to see, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as the Eastern Conference, of course, the Nets, and I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Okay.
And then as far as the Western Conference, I'll say Utah and maybe the Lakers, provided the Lakers are healthy. If not, then I'll say the Clippers have a shot.
Yeah, I will say this. Everybody knows, diehard Lakers fan here. I'll take out my mouse pad. I didn't come into the season thinking of repeat right away, right? Because I was like, it's too fast of a turnaround. But seeing as LeBron James is kind of getting his rest while he rejuvenates from an injury, and Anthony Davis, I think they have a shot. So, but my West, I think this year we do get what we wanted last year. That's the Lakers and Clippers. I don't believe in Phoenix or Utah going all the way, just because playoff basketball is different. So I think we get that. That'll draw ratings, and I think we get a. I think we get a Nets. You ready for this? Wizards in the Eastern Conference. Russell Westbrook versus Kevin Durant. Winner goes to the NBA Finals. Because that's the team. Hey, who saw Miami last year? And if you look,
I definitely didn't see the Wizards. I'll tell you that. Oh, goodness.
Well, I told people, and this is the me putting on the Westbrook fan hat. Give it some time. They're gonna get it together. Westbrook is a dog. And you saw like they was 0-6, 0-5, then they missed 6 straight games due to COVID. They didn't have time to get in rhythm. So that's the reason why they've been playing catch up. But now everybody's caught up to his intensity. Look out for him, So I think he says stop it. Shout out to Anthony tuning in. But like nobody saw Miami last year. And I will admit, I'll never forget this. I was going to Little Caesars. No, Pizza Bowlies. Getting pizza and wings on this day. It was a Friday. And I pulled out my phone and I was watching this interview with Jimmy Butler last year before the bubbles, like at the beginning of the bubble, before the games even started. It was right before the playoffs. And I think he was talking to Taylor Rooks and she said, "You didn't bring your family. Why not?" He said, "It's a business trip. Why am I bringing them on a business trip?" That right there, and I wish I would have said it. I said, they're going to the finals. But I ain't put it in the universe, so I can't claim it. But in my head, I said it like when I was watching this. I said, they're going to shock everybody and go to the finals because of that mentality. If Russell Westbrook, which I think he can, had that same mentality, I think the Wizards can sneak their way to the Eastern Conference Finals. So you would actually talk too much.
Yeah, I saw that comment too. I was like, but I'll say this.
I'm a screenshot.
And look, y'all need to go play the lottery that day. Both of y'all split the lottery that day. 'Cause y'all gonna win. With the
I don't play the lottery, brother. My dad taught me why pay taxes twice.
That's true.
That was
either, but
that's what he told me. He was like, "Why would I pay taxes twice? I ain't playing no lottery." And I was like, I did a scratch off one time, man, win, and I was like, all right, whatever. So yeah, the lottery ain't my thing, but hey, if somebody else's, do you? But yeah, and guess what? That's the beauty about making these picks. It said Wizards don't play defense like Miami. I said before the bubble started. Of course you did, Anthony. Of course you did. But no, and I'm not just saying that he's being biased. No, Anthony is one of my favorite basketball commentators on the internet because I know he's always going to be fair and true. But they don't. Go ahead.
Hey, is it possible that you got a distant cousin that plays for the Miami Heat, Anthony? I'm just asking, man.
You know the answer.
Hey, I figured I would ask, so you know.
But yeah, I do. I think they could. I think I think we all know. Like if I was a betting man, my bet would be a Nets Sixers Eastern Conference Finals. But for the ratings and for the fun of this conversation, I'm still going to pick the Wizards to get there because I just got this gut feeling that somehow, some way, they're gonna make it happen. It's all gonna click, and the cards are gonna line up properly. And if it don't happen, I ain't put no money on it. Anthony says no comment.
So basically, what you're saying is that Bam kind of paid you off on the side to take care of a few different things for you. But that's all right though, man. You ain't got to admit nothing to us. We somebody's man.
Oh man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. It's been great. I wasn't even expecting to be on here this long, and god dang, it's already been 51 minutes. So I wouldn't say the Sixers look crazy right now. They I don't look at teams at the end. I wait till the playoffs get here, But I will say this: my MVP pick is Chris Paul. Because of the simple fact, most valuable player, not most score, not highest score, whatever. I see how that team looked before, and I see how that team look now. Chris Paul is my MVP or LeBron James, because clearly the Lakers fell off when he got hurt. But nonetheless, do you have an MVP?
I have an MVP list. Let's see. I think Jokic is the MVP. I've kind of gone back and forth. At one point I had Embiid as my MVP, but somebody brought it up to me. He's missed a lot of games. So Jokic probably gets it by elimination. But definitely got to put Chris Paul in the running, and you definitely got to put Julius Randle in the running. How can you not put him in the running with what he's doing for the New York Knicks?
That's true.
I'm not even a New York Knicks fan. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, but I love watching the Knicks play. They just play hard. They play hard. They're moving the basketball more. I mean, a Tom Thibodeau offense that's moving the basketball, I didn't think I'd ever see the day.
See, that's what coaches got to develop too. The stuff don't work, and you find yourself like out of work. You got to go back and say, okay, what didn't work? How do I get back there? Look at Frank Vogel. Now, granted, and LeBron James, but still, they got to make adjustments too to their games, and they got to change. Mike D'Antoni.
Well, he's an assistant now, so he made that adjustment.
That is true. Well, I'm about to get out of here. Mike, I appreciate you for coming on as always answering the call. Ladies and gentlemen, follow me on all social media platforms at Brian H. Waters. If you're a wrestling fan, subscribe to the Wrestling Realm at youtube.com/Wrestling Realm. We're right there. Almost. We're less than 100 subscribers away from that great mark of 1,000. So please go over there, watch some of the videos. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, there's content over there for you as well. But make sure you can even follow me on Twitch at BWaters24, where I've been playing Mortal Kombat and MLB The Show. So if you're on MLB The Show, main event status is my name, my game name. Till the next time, folks. So long, everybody.